There we go, credits! Woo! Yeah, we did it! So, what did you think of this game, Pimmsy?
That was a pathetic ending.
Pathetic ending in terms of what?
Well, challenge?
Well, no, that was because I had practiced the boss fight, and like I said, I probably would have beaten the boss last time if I'd kept going.
The optional end boss was
Demon of Hatred
was harder.
Well, yeah, it is because it's optional. It's like Dark Eater Midir when you do the Ringed City. Like Slave Knight Gale is pretty difficult, and he's got 3 phases, funnily enough. But Dark Eater Midir is a lot harder to try and take out.
I'm trying to think of which enemies have had 4 phases. I don't think any of them have apart from him.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of. Because Elfrida only had 3.
Yeah, but like, they weren't hard phases. It would have been nice to have 4 challenging phases.
Well,
or at least where you had to use some of the prosthetics in an interesting way.
The idea is that you learn the fight and you persevere through it, but at the end of the day, it just got to the point where it's like, all you need to use is this. All you need to know is when to deflect, and he's quite easy to take out. Wadji says, I like this game, but there's not much replayability. Yeah, even though there's 4 endings to this, I can't really imagine doing this game 4 times if I didn't want to actually get all the trophies and see the endings.
I think you should. I mean, I got all the trophies for Bloodborne.
Yeah.
There weren't multiple endings really though, were there? Well, there were, but like not that many.
Yeah.
What, were there 2? No, 3. I can't remember. I mean,
but at the end of the day, like, I would say that this game is clearly not as good as Bloodborne.
Well, yeah, but Bloodborne's like the best game ever.
Of the generation, yeah. The setting, I don't like the Japanese folklore as much as I do like the gothic horror Victorian style.
But the gothic horror really fits with
exactly.
this is kind of a bit forced, but I think the problem that I have with this game isn't actually a problem with the game. The problem that I have is we've only just finished playing Neo. And I think there's too many similarities.
And also Neo 2 comes out pretty soon as well.
Yeah, I think that they're too close.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because they are different games made by different developers. But in terms of the aesthetics, it's very similar.
Yeah.
And that to me is disappointing. And it's like we'd already known a lot of the methodology and the mythology from Neo, and to be honest, you actually learned more from Neo.
Because it's a completely different style of fighting system with the whole stance changings. You get different weapons with the spears, the axe, the double-bladed probably things.
I think that is possibly it, is that you don't create an affinity with your sword.
Yeah, you just get stronger, but your sword is still your sword. And it's not a great katana. Like, the Uchi katana in Dark Souls 3 feels better, the Rakuyo in Bloodborne feels better, and I think part of it's just due to the range, because it doesn't feel like a long weapon.
No, but then you get the spear, but that's a prosthetic again.
And you have to spend spirit emblems to use it rather than
secondary weapon. Yeah.
You can use combat arts which are useful in certain situations, like when I did the Ichimonji double for the farming technique. But the other stuff, like Mortal Draw, is so slow, it just takes
it just becomes
too
useless.
long.
But I think something that kind of upsets me about this game, don't get me wrong, I love this game, I think it's actually really good. I enjoyed it, I would play it again if I was playing it the first time, I would do it for all the endings. I really enjoyed the game. But something that I think the other games capture, I know we shouldn't be comparing them because they're not supposed to be, it's not part of that trio really, it's just by the same people, but it's not a Soulsborne game. They were very specific that it does not play like that. The other games, you can play with every single weapon that is shown. You can't do that in this game.
No, I mean, you don't get a bow and arrow, which you do get in Neo, funnily enough, because you can aim with L2.
Guns, you don't get any guns.
You kind of get a gun with the explosive axe, but it's not really that great. But yes, you're right, you don't get rifles or anything like that.
Do you get cannon? You don't even get cannon, do you?
You can't even use the cannons that you said, oh yeah, let's use that and just blow people up from behind. It's like, nope, don't get to do that.
Yeah. Whereas the cannons in the previous games you've been able to
mhm.
to use. I just think it's a bit like it's almost there.
Yeah. Personally, I would put this below Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and Dark Souls 1. So this is the second worst of the Soulsborne likes.
Are you including the original Dark Souls, the one before?
Yes, the one that you played on stream.
No, the one that we haven't
Oh,
played.
Demon Souls. No,
Yeah.
that's not being included because we haven't played it. So,
You think Dark Souls 2 is worse than this?
yes.
Okay,
I
interesting.
I wouldn't imagine there's many people that's going to disagree with that. But people probably think the problem with Sekiro is that it's a good game for the quality of life stuff.
Oh, I
Like,
was going to say, I must admit, in Sekiro, I have more of an affinity with Sekiro than I have the Hunter.
yeah, because the Hunter's like a creator character, whereas Sekiro is an actual person.
Actual character, yeah.
And it's nice to have that. But again, that hurts the replayability because it's like, well, I'm playing the same guy again. I'm just choosing different options. I am probably going to have more fun playing this the second time around now
Well,
that
you
I
know
know how to beat the bosses. It's like, right, headless, I know I can get divine confetti infinitely, so I'll just leave them until I do that. I know how to deflect Ishii and Ashina, I know how to deflect Genichiro. I assume there'll be some other bosses that we haven't seen because of different endings, but yeah, it's just, I don't know.